Achaji, we are solving a question of AS level accounting. And this question is basically has come in February, March 25, 22. अभी पिछले महीने, last month, February, March 25, 22. And this includes absorption costing part and also marginal costing part, which belongs to some part belongs to the limiting factor. Some part is basically for weighted average method, and some is for the marginal costing. So inventory valuation part is also there. So we have to be very vigilant about the inventory valuation part also. So let's start doing it. So the departments are cutting, finishing, store, and canteen. So let's solve it. We have to prepare store ledger card, sorry, overhead analysis sheet. And with that, we are going to prepare overhead analysis sheet. We will apportion the overhead cost, and then we will reapportion the overhead cost to other departments. So the departments already overhead allocated are given 424560. I will write here overhead allocated. टोटल कॉलम नहीं बनाया मैंने. Overhead allocated. We will write here total. And the total is going to be how much? That is 424560. Right here 424560. Then we have cutting department. थोड़ा सा इसको आगे कर लेते हैं. Okay. The cost of the cutting department is 183,270, 145,990. So I will write here 183,270, 145,990, 45990. Okay. And then we have store department, that is 45380, 49920. So 45380 and 49920. Okay. I will write here this is cutting and this is going to be the finishing. Okay. Now, supervisor salary is basically already allocated cost given in the question. This has never come in the paper previously, but now it is a part of the paper. So supervisor salary is going to be 28,200 for cutting, and for finishing department, salary is 26,200. So supervisor salary for cutting department is 28,200, and for finishing department, it is 26,300. I will write here also supervisor salary, but this is basically related with the department, with the finishing department. Now next is depreciation of machine and rent. So depreciation of machine is supposed to be apportioned according to the machine cost, and rent is supposed to be apportioned according to the floor area. So let's do that. अच्छा जी, तो डेप्रिसिएशन ऑफ मशीनरी 87,000 है, और कॉस्ट ऑफ मशीनरी हम इसे डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करेंगे बेटा. वो कितनी है? 220, 150, 237, 26,000 ऐड कर लेंगे सबको, इन सबको ऐड कर लें. और डेप्रिसिएशन ऑफ मशीनरी 87,000 को हम डिवाइड कर देंगे इसके टोटल से. क्या आता है टोटल इसका, जरा बताइएगा. इन सबका टोटल 4,435,000. और जो आंसर आ रहा है वो क्या आ रहा है पॉइंट्स में? 0.2 divided by 4,35,000. 0.2. Now 0.2 multiplied by 2,20,000. 0.2 multiplied by 2,20,000. How much? 44,000. Then 0.2 multiplied by 1,52,000. 30400. I can write the total also. That is 28,200. And for this, it is 26,300. Then Sorry. Then next is 0.2 into 37,000 or 0.2 into 26,000. 7,400. Yes, 26,000 into 13,000. 5,200. Sorry. Okay, now we are supposed to apportion rent. Rent is supposed to be apportioned according to the floor area. So floor area is 1,500, 890, 280, 380 सबको add कर दें. And the rent is 48,000. So I will write here 48,000 divided by total of this 16. 16. What 16? 16. Total क्या आता है? 3,000. 3,000. And the answer is 16. Now 16 multiplied by 1,500. Then 16 multiplied by 890. 16 multiplied by 280. 24,000. That is 16 multiplied by 8. 890. 14,240. 14,240. Then 16 multiplied by 280. 4,480. And then 16 multiplied by 330. 5,2. मैंने टोटल में लिख दिया गलती से. दोबारा मुझे लिखवाओगे? कर लूंगा. ये था 24,000. ये था जी 14,240. Then 16 into 280. 4,480. हाँ जी 5,280. So we are done with that. Now we are going to go for the total of the total. Go for the total overheads. So we will calculate the total overheads now. So let's do that. इसका भी टोटल कर लेंगे. वो हमें पहले ही पता है. 87,000 है डेप्रिसिएशन ऑफ मशीन और रेंट का है 4,48,000. टोटल का टोटल करना पड़ेगा आपको. यू शुड हैव ए टोटल ऑफ टोटल कॉलम कटिंग डिपार्टमेंट का टोटल, फिनिशिंग का, स्टोर का, कैंटीन का. सही है. 614060. बाकी भी करेंगे हम. कटिंग का 279,470. ये 45 है, 145 है मेरे ख्याल. ये 145 है. 145,990. यस. ये देखो ना. ये 145,990. 145,990. Then next is 45,380 plus 7,400 plus 4,480. 5,7,260. And then you will go for the last one. 60. Oh, 6,0,400. 6,0,400. Okay. टोटल सही है, दोनों के बराबर आ रहे हैं. Now we have to reportion the store and canteen department cost. So let's see. First of all, we have to we'll go for number of employees. For store, no, for canteen, we have to portion through number of employees. So I'm going to make canteen cost को हम क्या कर देंगे बेटा, nil कर देंगे. So reportion canteen cost, that is 60400, and we are going to distribute it according to number of employees. इसका टोटल कर लेते हैं, 45 और 31, that will be 76, 82. तो 45 over 82 into 60400 over 82 into 60400. Three three one two six 23146. Then 31 over 82 into 31 over 82 multiplied by 60400. 22834. Then we have 6 over 82 into 60400. So this is how we have reportioned 4411. This is how we have reapportioned the canteen cost to the other departments. And now we'll go for the subtotal, and then we will solve the other part, we will go for the total first, that is subtotal. For subtotal, total will remain the same, that is 614,060, then 279470 plus 33146. Why we are reportioning canteen cost? Because service department has no cost. They provide services to the other departments. So their cost is distributed portion to the other departments by using some suitable basis. So their cost has to be nil. 2616. Next is 764. Now I'm going to reportion the but ये तो nil हो गया ना? This has become nil. Now I'm going to reapportion the store cost 61679. This will become nil, and I'm going to reapportion this cost according to the issue from store, 84 and 43. We will add them up, it will become 127. So 84 over 127 into 61679. 84 over 127 into 61679. 4179795. Then let me show, that is 43 over 127. 43 over 127 into 61679. 1679. 20883. Now I will go for the total. So let's do that. We'll be having the total overheads with us. All the departments, the service department cost has become nil. This is nil. We have reapportioned that to other departments. This total will obviously be the same, 614060. And let's go for the total of this. 353411. Okay. And next for this. ये तो बराबर ही नहीं आ रहा भाई. दोनों सेम होने चाहिए ना. तो 47 और 11, चलो 48 भी कर लेते हैं अगर हम, तभी बराबर नहीं हो. 12 होना चाहिए ना, 312 होना चाहिए. वो 12 होना चाहिए. पॉइंट्स राउंड ऑफ किए होंगे आपने. हाँ ये थे. चलो कोई बात नहीं, ठीक है, नो प्रॉब्लम. राउंड ऑफ किए थे तो कोई बात नहीं. आप लोग जो है वो राउंड ऑफ पॉइंट के बाद ना 2 डिजिट तक अगर आप कर लें, लिख लें, तो that will be good for the question. Now we have to find the overhead absorption rate. If we just look at the question, we have used what kind of hours? Let's see. Labor hours. Machine hours are consumed in cutting department, but in finishing department, we are using labor hours because it is a capital intensive department. This is labor intensive. So 8220 and 7144. So I will divide it with 8220 and I will divide it by 7144. क्या आता है जी आपका? OER मैं बताता हूँ अभी is equal to budgeted overhead cost 353411 divided by 8220. We will get the overhead absorption rate for cutting department 42.994 43 कर देते हैं per machine hour, and then we have to go for that is labor hours 36.484 per labor hour. We have calculated the overhead absorption rate, portion, zero portion, and other part. Next part is the store department issues component X to the finishing department. The weighted average AVCO method of inventory control is used by the store department. The following details about the component are available. 1st January, we have already balanced 6 components which at cost 8 each. So let's prepare we have to find the closing inventory at each step. At each step means that every date we have to find the closing inventory. So it is always good that you will go for the preparation of store ledger card because it will make your question quite simple. So let's prepare I think this question has come after maybe many years, if I'm not wrong. So we have a column of first, we have to write column, receipt column, we'll write here. Then we have a column issued column. This is the format of preparing store ledger card. And then we have a column of balance. And in each column, we have to write 3 things, which is quantity, rate, and amount. So I will write here quantity, rate, and amount. Next, for issue, we have to write the same. That is quantity, rate, and amount. Then for the balance, we have to write the same. That is going to be the quantity, rate, and amount. Let me have some more space available. So I'll write here now. Okay. Now let's prepare the columns and then prepare the card also. So I'll prepare the column first. This is quantity, rate, amount, quantity, rate, amount, again quantity, rate, and amount. So we'll do like this. And we will also do like, we will also do like this. And we can have this much also, just to complete the store ledger card. Okay. Now let's see that what is the balance on 1st January 2025. So let me write the date. I'll write date column over here. And this is going to be the 1st January 1. Right? और इसको हम जो है वो इस लाइन को बता देते हैं ना जरा ताकि थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम हमें ना आए इन लाइंस को थोड़ा सा रब कर देते हैं just to make it simple. So we have a balance. Let's see. We have a balance available through AVCO method. We are solving the question, and we have balance on 1st January 6 component which had cost 8 each. So let's write it down. We have balance on 1st January. That is 6 component. 6 according to rate is 8, and the balance is going to be 48. Now, next we will move towards the next part. That is that we have received 12 on 6th January 12 units at the rate of 8 each. So I will write here January 12. 8, how many? 8 units at the rate of 12. So this will become 96. Okay. Now I have to write the balance. Always remember that in AVCO method, the balance will be written. The balance is supposed to be written according to the average used. Okay, average means the formula we are going to use for the weighted average rate through FCO method is total amount divided by total quantity. Okay, so the total amount is in this particular part 48 plus 96 divided by 8 plus 6, that is going to be 14 into 8, that is the rate. Sorry, rate is not the 8. So correct, 96 plus 48, 96 plus 48 divided by 96 plus average rate we have to use 48 divided by total units, which is 8 plus 6, that is 14. So what is the average rate? 10.28. So I will multiply it with 10.28 and I will find the amount of how much? 143.92. चलो 144 फिलहाल कर देते हैं, बाद में फिर इसको राउंड ऑफ भी करते रहेंगे आप. नेक्स्ट इज वी हैव इशूड on 9th January we have issued 7 units. So 7 units will be issued from here in the issue column and the rate we are using is 10.28. 10.28 को राउंड तो नहीं किया था आपने? अगर राउंड किया है? नहीं किया. Okay then, good. 10.28. So what is the amount? 7 into 10.28. 71.96. And the remaining units will become again 7 and the rate is the same, which is 10.28 and that is 71.96. So sir, why we are preparing this particular card? Because he has asked us to prepare to find actually the inventory on each step. So it means that in January 1 we have an inventory of 48. On January 12 we have an inventory of 144 and on January, what is the date? 9. 6 and 9, sorry. This is 6, huh? Let me correct it. 6 and 9. So I will write 6 here. And I will write 9 here. So on January 9th, we have an inventory of 71.96. Now, if you just look at the question is still moving on. 8 units we have purchased at the rate of 9 each, then 13 are issued. This is the basic question. Complete the following table to show the value of the closing inventory of component X using FCO. January 1 की भी, 6 January की भी, 9 की भी, 16 की भी, 21 की भी. This is the issue. So now we are moving towards the 16th of January. So what we have done on 16th of January, we have purchased new additional inventory units, additional component X, that is 8 at the rate of 9. So I'll write here 8 units here at the rate of 9, 72. And then now I have to go for the formula again. Total amount divided by total quantity. 71.96 plus 72 or 72 plus 72 divided by 15. That is going to be the average rate you will use here. 9.597 and the amount is going to be 144 around or 143 point something. Yes, 68. Okay. Now let's move on. This is the closing inventory we have on 16th. Then 21 we are issuing 13 units. So I will take 13 units in the issue column. I will write and the rate I will use the same one, 9.597 and the amount you can calculate. $124.76. So the amount is going to be 124.76. Now the remaining units are 2, right? And the rate is 9.597. What is the amount? 19.1192. So this is the closing inventory 194. This is the closing inventory for which date? Let's see. I think 21st. Yes. And now 10 units are received, purchased at the rate of 10 each on 27. So this is going to be 21, 27, 10 into 10. This is 100. And now you have to go for the balance. Total amount divided by total quantity. So total amount is going to be 19.194 plus 100. This is 1119.4 divided by total units. That is 10 plus 2. That is 12. So what is going to be the rate? Yes. 9.93932. Okay. So this is how we are done with that. At the end of January 1, we have a closing inventory of 48. At the end of January 6, we have a closing inventory of 144. At the end of January 9, we have a closing inventory of 71.96. At the end of 16 January, we have 143.68 in the closing inventory, then 19.194 on 21. And on 27, we have an inventory of 119.194 after we have purchased 10 units at the rate of 10 each. So this is the question we have solved. I think it has come around, if I'm not wrong, maybe 15 years before. And there is no part of such question since that time. So we have to go for the 6th January, 8th January, 16th January, 21st January, and 27th. You can go for the calculation also accordingly, whatever you feel good. By calculating, you can do that also. But I have prepared the ledger card because I find it more easy because of the reason that you have to find the inventory at each step. So either you can go for the calculation after each step, or you can prepare a stored ledger card with the received column, issued column, and the balance column. Okay, let's move forward. Next point in this question is regarding marginal costing. It is said that D Limited uses marginal costing at another factory which produces, where two products are produces B and C. Following forecast information is available. Selling price per unit 173 and 156, direct material, direct labor hours, contribution per unit is given, and production and sales are also given. Fixed cost is 1100 per month. The supplier of direct material has notified the director that delivery problem will mean that in August 2025, only 70% of the forecast requirement for direct material will be available. So we are not, this is the question of limiting factor. So we are not able to produce the whole units, right? So there is a limitation. So if you just look at the question and you find the total quantity available, that is 60, but we required actually for B, 60 into 7, we need for 20 kgs. And for C, 50 into 9, we need for 50 kgs. So total what amount we need, that is going to be 870. But we are having only 70% of the material available for this. That is going to be 609. So now I am going to rub it up. So over in these questions, we have to find contribution per limiting factor. So here the contribution per limiting factor is contribution per kg. So let's find it out for B and C. For B and C. So contribution per unit, if you just look at the question, contribution per unit is 19. And contribution per limiting factor means contribution divided by limiting factor by per unit means contribution per unit divided by kg per unit. That is 7. So calculate 19 divided by 7, how much it come, and 21 divided by 9. 2.71, 2.71, and then 21 divided by 9. 21 divided by 9, that is 2.33. So it means that we will produce B first, right? And then we'll produce the C, because the contribution per limiting factor, contribution per kg for B is higher than the C. So let's see, units produced, kg used. Let's see, total kgs available to us are 609, right? एंड यहाँ लिखना चाहिए था वैसे केजी पर यूनिट, लेकिन चलो कोई बात नहीं, यहाँ पे लिख लेते हैं नीचे। केजी पर यूनिट इज रिक्वायर्ड for B is 7 and for C is going to be 9. Let me see, check it out. Let's see. kg per unit, here it is for B 7 and 9. Okay. Now from 609, if we are going to produce units of B first, we will produce all units of B, which is 60. So 60 units of B will be produced, and because of that, B is going to use how many kgs are utilized? That is 420. So 420 kgs are being used. Now, for the 50 units of C, we don't have that much kgs required. 15 to 9, 450 are not required. So what is the kgs left for C? 609 minus 420. 609 is the total kg available, 189. So we have only 189 kgs to produce C. So how many units can be produced? 189 divided by 9, 21. So we can produce only 21 units of C. So now we can find total contribution, that is 60. Contribution per unit is, let me see, 19 and 21. तो 60 बाकी मैं लिख लेता हूँ यहाँ पे, चल ठहरे तक लिख लेता हूँ ताकि प्रॉब्लम ना हो ना। कंट्रीब्यूशन पर यूनिट, वो कंट्रीब्यूशन पर यूनिट इज हाउ मच? 19 and 21. I will write 19 and 21. So now you can do that. 16 to 19 is, we are finding the contribution actually. You know? The, yes, 60 units we have produced for B into 19 is the contribution per unit. So we can find the total contribution 1140. Now for here, 21 into 21. 21 into 21. Because units produced are 21 and contribution per unit for C is also 21. 441. Now you can add them up. You will get total contribution 1140 plus 441. 158. 1 less fixed cost. Because fixed cost will not change. Either you will produce more units, less units, it will remain the same with the change in the production, 1100, and you can find the profit, 481. So from option 1, which is basically a optimum use of limited resources, the profit for the year, the maximum profit you can achieve is 481 if there is a limiting factor of kgs, because kgs are not available according to the units we want to produce. So we have gone for a contribution per limiting factor or contribution per kg. The formula is contribution per unit, मैं लिख देता हूँ, divided by limiting factor per unit, or you can say contribution per kg per unit. Okay, so we can find the contribution per limiting factor. Okay, let's move forward. Option B is this: is the purchase additional material from a new supplier to make up the shortfall. The supplier charged $5 per kg. Now, what they are saying, that you will produce the B as usual, and you are finding the total contribution of B as usual, but the remaining units of C, which are not being produced, we are purchasing it from the outside supplier, right? And the outside supplier is basically charging $5. And because of that, those units will cost us more. So our contribution per unit for those units, for those extra units, will decrease from 21 to 16. Because the purchase price, $5, will decrease the contribution by 5. So let's calculate that for 21 units, the 441 contribution is the same. Now 50 minus 21, how many units we have to purchase? 50 minus 21, 30, 29. So 29 units we will purchase at a price of sorry, 29 units, for 29 units, the contribution per unit is going to be how much? That is not 21, that is 16. So what is the extra contribution we are having? 464, right? So we are having an extra contribution of 464. It means that our profit will increase by 464. Previous profit will remain the same, that is 481. And 481 plus 464. So from option B, how much profit we are getting? Yes. 481 plus 464. 945. Okay. So this is how we are done with the option 2 also. I've gone for a simpler solution. Why, sir? Because we have already produced 60, we are already producing 60 units of B, and the total contribution was 1140. And we have the profit also, fixed cost will not change. But we are producing only 21 units of C. Otherwise, we are not producing. Those 29 units now can be purchased from an outside supplier at $5. So it means that our contribution per unit for those particular product will, because they are selling at the same price. So for those units, the contribution will decrease by 5, that is 16. So to 9 into 16, we are going to have a contribution of 464, whereas the fixed cost has already been subtracted. It is the same. This is additional profit we are going to get from option 2. So that is 945. So it is better that we'll go for option 2 because it will increase our profit also. And secondly, we are able to produce all units. That is the most better way. But it depends that we have to compromise with the quality of the product, because it is possible that the supplier might not provide us with the same quality. Oh, थोड़ी गलती होगी बेटा. Charges $5 per kg है. Per kg. So per kg means that we have how many kgs are required per unit? 21, 9 kgs. So 29 into 9. So how many kgs are required? Just a minute. So 261 kgs actually. We need more 261 kgs, and 261 into 5. That will be the, not into 5. 261 kgs we have to purchase additional for $5. Yes. Yes, yes. 1305. So our cost will increase by 1305. So it means that it is not possible to go for that particular option 2 because it will give us a serious loss. So we will not go for that option 2. Why? Let me prepare it for you. See that the purchase additional material for a new overseas supplier to make up the shortfall, the supplier charged $5 per kg. So let's move forward, move back. How many units we are producing less because of the shortfall of material? We are producing 29 units less. On each unit now, the kg we require are 9 kg per unit, and each 9 kg per unit will cost us $5. So that is 1305, right? So 1305 kgs we will produce more, but we have to see that what is the amount of kg per unit in the past, because that will also has been incurred. $4. So there is only difference of $1 actually. So that will be 261 is the increase in the cost. 261 into 1. That is the increase in the cost, because previously $4 are already being charged on each unit. So now we have to go for one more extra. So 261, with 261, our cost, material cost will increase. So we'll not go for that because overall profit will decrease from as compared to option A. 481 minus 261 is how much? 220. 220. So our profit will decrease by 220 if we go for option 2, because we are basically purchasing the material from the outside supplier for the extra units, which is 29, and the kg on those extra units are 9 per kg. So 261 kg will require $1 more cost to us, and our profit will then decrease by 220. But overall profit we are talking about. What is the profit now? The contribution per unit is 21. We have to calculate the profit for all the units actually. Okay. So can you multiply 50 into 21? How much? Sorry, 29 into 21. 29 into 21. Into 21. 60. 29 into 21, 609 आ रहा है। वो तो वैसे ही आ रहा है, तो कैसे आ रहा है वो मसला नहीं है। अब इसमें से माइनस करें 261, क्योंकि दैट कॉस्ट इज इंक्रीजिंग एक्चुअली। 348। So we should have gone for a proper income statement that would be more appropriate. But 348 say with 348 profit is going getting increased actually in option two. देखो ना 261, हम 29 यूनिट्स जो हम ऑप्शन ए में बना ही नहीं रहे। अब जब आप 29 यूनिट्स बनाएंगे तो उसके आपका जो एडिशनल खर्चा आ रहा है वो 261 से इंक्रीज कर रहा है ना। कंट्रीब्यूशन पर यूनिट तो वही है, तो फिर वो तो आपको 609 एक्स्ट्रा कंट्रीब्यूशन दे रहा है। तो अगर मैं सारा ही बनाऊं अगर, तो उसको भी आप इजीली कर सकते हैं। कैसे भला? मतलब जो 21 आपका है, अच्छा हम केजी के हिसाब से ये भी निकाल सकते थे यार। 9 केजी था ना? नहीं, उसकी जरूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि उसने हमें तो केजी की प्राइस दी हुई है पर केजी। $4 है। हम्म, अब 5 हो जाएगी ना। पहले 36 थी, अब 45 हो जाएगी। 9 into 4 36, और 9 into 5 45। दैट इज द डिफरेंस विच विल क्रिएट 11, एंड 11 into 29, आई थिंक इट विल कम द सेम। ये तो 261 है हमारा, है ना? चलें, निकालते हैं, पूरे ही निकालते हैं। तो कितने यूनिट से हमारे 20? हाँ, टाइम खत्म होने लगा है। कोई बात नहीं, हम टाइम को बंद कर देते हैं।